Hi, my name's Kevin Blanche. Today's rant I'm going off is on this spew that I hear over and over and over and over. Free market capitalism. Free market capitalism. Obama's a socialist. He's a socialist. Free market capitalist. I'm here to set the record straight right here, right now. You are morons. You are total morons. It is the most ignorant, poorly educated, low IQ spew I've ever heard in my entire life. Let's talk about free market capitalism. The United States of America has never, ever, ever, ever been free market capitalism. Not even close. The document, the Constitution itself, implies a socialized system. Under free market capitalism, this was debated between Hamilton and Jefferson. Hamilton said it was ignorant to think that our shores were not going to be attacked for our natural resources, and thus we got to have a central bank. We must have a public army. Look, if you support Iraq and you support Afghanistan, you are no free market capitalist. Free market capitalists have no public armies. They have no public military. Free market capitalism has no public police. They have no public jails. They have no public fire departments. They have no public roads. They have no public anything. Free marketplace capitalism does not have government. Free market capitalism, whoever has the strongest army rules. Thus it turns into a monarchy type system. Get out your history books and read up what led up to World War I in the continent of Europe. We have never. Emerson and Jefferson debated this. Jefferson won out. The Constitution, the document itself, implies a socialized system. Where do you guys get off on this free market capitalism? You don't even know what you're talking about. A free market capitalism does not regulate natural resources. Natural resources are depleted till they're gone, and they're taken by whoever has the strongest army. So I'm so sick and tired of hearing this ignorant spew. This country has never, ever, ever been free market capitalism. Never, even close. We are a thing called guided capitalism, which slides along a socialist type agenda, which we've always been from the birth of the Constitution, from day one. Day one. Get off this stuff. I heard this guy on CNN talking about he joined the BP, support BP, and he says, I'll support free market. I'd love to debate this moron. Oh, would I love to debate this moron. These guys, and to you educators out there, you professors, what are you teaching out there? Free market capitalism. I mean, I was in a class the other day at the university on entry level, and this adjunct professor got up and started saying America is a capitalistic society. I'm like, are you nuts? America has never been a capitalistic society. Pure capitalism, never, ever. It is guided capitalism. Look, in the inception of the Constitution, just the people gathering together and signing a document and forming a government is a socialized system in its basic context. Pure capitalism societies do not govern anything. They're ruled whoever is the strongest, whoever has the strongest army. They get the natural resources. Look, we have public lands in this country. Teddy Roosevelt said all kinds across of them. We have public everything. We are very socialized people. We've always been a very socialized people. I mean, this spew about free marketplaces got to end. Free capitalistic societies, you have one more powerful, usually family, rules the entire reign. Everything. They have all the wealth. They have all of it. Look, on the continent of Europe, in the early part of this century, you had the entire continent was ruled by one family. Basically 5 kings. They were the same family. That's what happens in a pre-market capitalism. You have no public police, you have no public fire department, you have no regulation of your food supply. Look, I grew up here in the West. When I was a kid, this was still the boonies when I grew up, big time, in the 1960s. People out here, the early people bottled a lot of their own food. The food supply was not regulated. It was extremely common for people to die out here all the time. I know tons of people when I was a kid in school that died from botulism and food poisoning because the food supply was not regulated. In this country, we have to regulate the extraction of our natural resources. We have to regulate our food supply. We have to have a police. We have to have an army. And if you support Iraq or Afghanistan, you're no free market capitalist. Do you realize how much money that war cost? We had a public army. The public army, that is a socialized system, a big-time social. It is massive. It is gargantuous. In a pure market capitalism, we do not have the taxation and we do not have the revenue to fund a public army. So you morons that spew this shit is pure ignorance. Now, when you go off about the Second Amendment, that's a whole different thing. That's a part of the Constitution. That's a great argument. I love to hear those arguments. All these different constitutional arguments, they're great. They're awesome. That's what makes this country so great. That's what made the two-party system work so well. But it's been lost. This right-wing fringe, who is pure ignorant, has stole the two-party system. Look, the spew you guys are spewing is so poorly educated and so ridiculous that it's mind-blowing to me. I would love to debate this guy that was on CNN. I'd like to debate any of these freaking morons that spew this stuff. These Hanleys of the world, these Glenn Beck morons of the freaking world. They don't even know what they're talking about. They are so poorly educated. What happened to this country? Really, how ignorant are we? How ignorant are we? It is pathetic.